In October 2023, I had bought a new bookshelf. I had rearranged all my books, and I had shot a video of my home library. In the video, towards the end, I had mentioned that I am going to be doing a book buying ban for the next 1 year. And as soon as I said that, my husband made a mocking comment. He said that is not going to happen. And 6 months later, these are all the new additions to my library. Let me show a quick tour of what are the books that I have got and what motivated me to buy them. In October 2023, I had been to Chennai and a short trip to Mahabalipuram. So whenever I visit a new place, the first thing that I Google is what are the bookstores in that town or city. So I came across this shop called Apollo Bookstore. So I made a quick stop there, and it's a very nice bookstore. I got a couple of J. Krishnamurthy's books, which I'm yet to read. Then this one on meditation by Eknath Ishwaran, and this book again. These are all impulse buys because I was so impressed by the bookstore and talking to the person there who runs the bookstore. It was truly an eye-opening experience. And also, whenever I visit a railway station, I love to go to the bookstores around there. So this book was recommended to me by my faculty who taught us Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So she mentioned about this book, Learn to Live. It comes in 2 volumes. I have both. Volume 2 I purchased earlier from Blossoms. I couldn't find volume 1, so I got this from the Central Railway Station. So yeah, so this I started reading about halfway through. Once I finish it, I will share the review. In December, I had been to a Gita Jayanti event where Vyoma had put up a stall. So this is a list of all the shlokas and chants that one can chant on a daily basis. It's quite interesting. It has a list of shlokas to be chanted for various occasions during the day, before brushing the teeth, while taking bath, and also prayers to different deities. So since I am taking shloka classes for children, I thought I would also refer to this book and learn more shlokas. I came across this book written by my professor Mahadevan sir. So this is a book on Sanatana Dharma written in Tamil. So I read this book after doing his course on called Foundations of Sanatana Dharma as part of Vyoma Sanskrit labs. So this book gives a summarized explanation of the basic principles of Sanatana Dharma. It is written in Tamil, and I got the opportunity to translate this book in English. By God's blessings, I got the opportunity to do this activity, and this English version got published in the month of March. So this is again another book written by my professor Mahadevan and Karthik. So this is a summarized version of insights from Bhagavad Gita, focusing on work, joy, and evolution. I'm yet to start reading this book. I'm really looking forward to it. The other book, so as part of the Gita Parayanam event, this book was released. This is the volume 2 of Timeless Gita, Endless Bliss. I have read the first volume, and in the second volume I'm about 25% through. Professor has made Gita more accessible and more easily understandable for beginners. So I would highly recommend both the volumes. On the same day, I also happened to visit the Giri stores in JP Nagar, one of my favorite stores. Their books collection is awesome. I usually buy many shloka books from there. I also got Devi Mahatmyam this time. I'm excited to learn about Durga Saptashloki. This has the Sanskrit verses as well as their meanings. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. In December, I visited the temple, Ramanuja temple in Sri Perumbudur. So there I got a book on Sri Ramanuja, his story and his teachings, Vazhvum Vaakkum, written in Tamil. So what I have noticed is that as I'm learning the basics of Vedanta, there is a lot of coverage and information that is available on Advaita Vedanta. But when it comes to Vishishta Advaita, I somehow am not able to get to learn the basics. So I thought first I will understand Ramanuja's version of the principles that he has shared through this book, and then maybe I will delve into more deeper to understand the difference between Advaita and Vishishta Advaita. So this is a very special book. This is Tirukkural. So from childhood I've been learning about Tirukkural as part of my Tamil classes in school. I have a couple of Tirukkural copies belonging to my mother and my uncle, but those are quite delicate, so I didn't want to they are printed decades back, so I didn't want to disturb their print, so I got a new copy for myself. So this is a very beautiful print with the Kural as well as the meaning. So this is mainly as a reference, because suddenly we might come across an interesting Kural from somewhere, and immediately I can look it up to know the meaning. So in January, my husband got me this book. This is Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. This was my first read in 2024, and it was such an eye-opening, insightful read. I have posted the review on my blog. I've also shared the review with the book club members. So this is a must read. If you are struggling with focusing your attention on any deep work requiring activity, you should definitely pick up this book. The second book I got in January is Sinu Joseph's Varna Vidya. Again, this is more of an impulse buy. I have read Sinu Joseph's earlier book Ritu Vidya. That was one of the most eye-opening books I have ever read, and I felt when she talks about traditions and customs, she backs it up with the proper reasoning. So I'm looking forward to reading this new release of hers. In March, I had signed up for a Gita pronunciation course from Gita Parivar. So here they have published a book on Bhagavad Gita, very beautiful print, and the exact pronunciation and how where you should use the Mahapranas, how you should process the different sandhis. Those are beautifully illustrated in this book, and I use this as a reference for my Gita chanting classes. So so far I have completed about 3 chapters, 12, 15 and 16, and now I'm learning the 17th chapter. As part of my MSc Yoga program, I am learning Sanskrit from the basics. And to make the learning more deeper, I've also signed up for this Pravesha exam. So this is the Pravesha textbook. So this is also a new addition, which I thought I'll just share. Any book tour or book haul is incomplete without Blossoms, my favorite bookstore. So this was the collection that I got during December. Yeah, so this is the English translation or transliteration of Yoga Vasishta, only the Laghu Yoga Vasishta, not the complete one. This was more of an impulse buy. I had no idea about this book, but when I went to Blossoms, this book just showed up in almost whichever shelf that I was looking at. So I thought I will just give it a read. This book, The Greatness of Saturn by Robert Svoboda. I've been interested in astrology in the past couple of years. Just curious, I haven't explored much, so I'm interested to learn more about the planets and their influences. So this is just a starting point to satiate that curiosity. This book has been in my wish list for quite some time. Daniel Goleman's Focus. I read quite a lot of books on the topic of focus and attention, because I feel that focus and attention is going to be the key differentiator for success. It is not your intelligence, it is not about the resources, it is all about how much you can focus and retain your attention. So this is from Blossoms. Yeah, so these are the books I got in December 2023 from Blossoms. So in April, I visited Landour and Missouri. So I visited this bookstore called Cambridge Bookstore. So there they had a digitally signed copy from Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is one of my favorite authors, and the reason to visit Landour is primarily because of him. So though I couldn't meet him, I'm happy that at least I went to the bookstore where he used to visit every week, is what I hear, when he was writing more frequently. Yeah, it's a feel-good kind of a book. And again, in Cambridge Bookstore, I picked up this book. This is again an impulse buy. The title, Creative Use of Emotion, and of course the author Swami Rama, he's one of my favorite authors. So I've finished reading this book, and it's just been such an insightful read. We'll share the review very soon. On World Book Day on April 23rd, I got this book. I've heard a lot of good reviews about this book, but I have no idea on the topic as such. So this is definitely going to be a new genre that I'm going to be exploring, geography and history and geopolitics. So this is like the first step that I'm going to take forward. I just started reading this a few pages. Quite interesting. This is a book gifted to me by my friend. This is again a very popular title. I'm looking forward to reading it. April 2024 visit to Blossoms. Yeah, I visit Blossoms every 3 months. Whenever I go to Blossoms, the main idea is that I look for second-hand books. Because you will find titles which you normally won't be able to get at such a good price online or anywhere else. So when I visited Landour, I spotted this book, but I didn't buy it. But I knew I added this to my to-read list. So I got this book where Ruskin Bond journals about his day-to-day events and experiences as a resident of Landour. So again, very nicely written. You can easily relate to the different places that are mentioned in this book if you have ever visited Landur. This book has been in my wish list for years, I would say. In 2019, I had read this book, The Biology of Belief. Such a beautiful, interesting read. In that book, I came across a reference to molecules of emotion, and I've also noted from a recommendation by Dr. Shivaraman. So, this is also a very interesting book which talks about the science behind mind, body, and medicine, written by Candice Pert. It was quite expensive on Amazon when I checked last time, but this being a second-hand book and it's a good print, I got it for $250. So it's going to be a dense book. So this is an impulse buy. Again, another book by Swami Rama called Sacred Journey. As you can see in Blossoms, price is 90 rupees. So you discover these gems of books whenever you visit Blossoms. Of course, you need to spend the time, but the collection is just awesome. Designing Destiny by Daji Kamlesh Patel. I have read this book earlier in Kindle, and now I want to have a physical copy of this book. If you have read Heartfulness Way, then I'm sure you'll be able to relate to Designing Destiny as well. I love Daji's writings. I have read 3 of his books so far: Heartfulness Way, Designing Destiny, and Wisdom Bridge. All 3 are just amazing. This is the book I am hooked on to right now, I would say. Dr. Wayne Dyer's You Will See It When You Believe It. This is again a second-hand copy from Blossoms, 150 rupees. I've been reading this for the past few days. It definitely challenges many of my pre-existing beliefs. Once I complete this, I will share the review. This book again on my to-do list, to read list for a long time, Maturity by Osho. I have read Intuition by Osho. He has written on these topics going in depth, and this book is again something that I'm looking forward to read. Whenever I set myself a stretch goal, I like to reward myself with books. And during the Chaitra Navaratri and Sri Ramanavami week, Sri Ramakrishna Mat Chennai, they were having a sale on their website. So I told myself that if I complete that stretch goal, I would buy books from Ramakrishna Mat. So that motivated me to push myself and finish the goal on time. So the books that I had purchased are Bhakti Yoga by Swami Vivekananda, Karma Yoga. These 2 are short booklets where one can learn about what Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga means from the perspective of Swami Vivekananda. Sri Vaishnavism Through the Ages. You would find such small booklets in Ramakrishna Mat where you don't, you get a gist of the topic in hand. Again, the books that I have bought, these are all have been part of my Amazon wish list for a quite long time. So Ashtavakra Samhita, Avaduta Gita, Dattatreya's Avaduta Gita. Again, these are books which are translations where we have the actual Sanskrit shloka along with the meaning. This book has been an impulse buy, Understanding Pratika Symbols in the Indian Tradition. Again, I don't know what is the scope, but I just felt interested, so I wanted to read more about it. Upanishads in Daily Life. So in my course, I'm currently learning about the basics of Upanishads, and I want to go one step deeper. So I've got this book which will give me hopefully it will give me a summary of the various Upanishads and their core lessons. This book is Uddhava Gita, which is the last message of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. This is again, it talks about the respective shlokas and the meaning. These require a lot more deeper study and reflection. So these are the collections of books that I have got, and I don't feel overwhelmed that there is so much to read, but I just feel like a kid in a candy store, wanting to just take in all the new ideas and perspectives that are interesting and enriching. Hope this was interesting. Have you read any of these books? What are your thoughts on some of these books? Do share in the comments. Thank you for watching.